Damn, it feels good to be a gangster. A real gangsta-ass MAGA play his cards right. A real gangsta-ass MAGA never let up on the gas, cause real gangsta-ass MAGA don't mind fights. And riggers always gotta get clapped.
He's in your shadow.
African Stream. Did you hear about this? Hey, here's some more censorship. African Stream has been banned by Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. We were censored after U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken made false, unsubstantiated claims against us. So that's all the government has to do is make an accusation. And YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, they just immediately censor you. That's all they have to do is make an. So they did it with saying, "Oh, Russia is." Remember that? What was it called? That Tim Pool got caught up in it. What was the name of that company? Anyway, it said, "Hey, this what was it? Metro Media? I forget the name of it." They go, "Oh, they're taking money from Russia." Well, they didn't say Russian government. They just said Russia. So again, let's wait till this. Every time they say a lot of things. They said that Hunter Biden's laptop was Russian disinformation and propaganda. It wasn't. But the YouTube, Facebook, they just immediately act on whatever the government tells them to do. So to be clear, contrary to this accusation, African Stream does not receive any funding from any state. We will shortly release a full statement regarding our work, our funding, and these accusations. We are currently consulting our legal team. We want to thank. So let's watch. Here's what.
Was it Tenet?
Yeah, Tenet Media. I can't wait to hear what the full story is on Tenet Media. But here, let's listen to this.
RT also secretly runs the online platform African Stream.
So that's not true. So again, the biggest liars, and according to African Stream, none of that's true. That's not true. So the biggest liars are the government. Always, everyone knows that. And then second is corporate media. And then third are people like African Stream or randos on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook. A distant third. The biggest liars are these guys. They lied about every war in my lifetime. They're currently lying about Ukraine, and they lied about Israel stopping aid supply to the Palestinians. They lied about that. So they lie all the time. So now they're making up a lie about African Stream. Watch this.
RT also secretly runs the online platform African Stream.
Now, I'm going to guess it's because African Stream, which I wasn't aware of until this, tells the truth about what the United States is doing in Africa. And so you just say they're Russian, they're getting funding from Russian, boom, social media censors them. Just like that. If Antony Blinken said Jimmy Dore was getting money from Russia, they wouldn't wait for a hearing. There wouldn't be a trial. They would just do it. Look what they did to Russell Brand. He had all these accusations, a hit piece and a couple of coordinated hit pieces in in newspapers or news outlets by anonymous people. There's never been a criminal charge, never been a civil case, nothing. But YouTube demonetized them like that with no hearing, no nothing. And so they're doing the same thing, doing worse. The African Stream, they're completely shutting them down. Check and see if African Stream has their YouTube channel up again. I don't think it does.
RT also secretly runs the online platform African Stream across a wide range of social media platforms. Now, according to the outlet's website, African Stream is, and I quote, a pan-African digital media organization based exclusively on social media platforms, focusing on giving a voice to all Africans both at home and abroad. In reality, the only voice it gives is to Kremlin propagandists.
So these are the people who told you Russiagate was real. These are the people who told you the Trump campaign was colluding with Russia. They weren't. The Mueller report said there was zero evidence of that. These are the same people who told you that the Hunter Biden's laptop was Russian propaganda. It wasn't. It was real. These are the liars. So I'm going to say, I got to guess that everything he's saying here is a lie. What did you find?
Shut down.
So I'm going to guess everything he just said is a lie. African Stream banned from Meta, Instagram, and Facebook. No, they don't get a hearing. Nothing. These are the types of pots that the United States Secretary of State Antony Blinken is using to attack African Stream as an agent of Russia, as if Africans aren't clever enough to speak for themselves or have no clue of what is going on. Here's what she says.
When we're talking about what's happening in Congo and the humanitarian crisis and talking about this concept of boycotting, I really need y'all who are on the fence about boycotting to understand that the cost of convenience does not have to be human lives. We are literally conditioned to think that in order for us to have certain things, someone somewhere has to suffer, and that is the furthest thing from the truth. And the only reason why they want you to believe that is because the real reason why people are working and dying in these horrendous working conditions, the reason why these people do not have access to clean water, clean clothes, or shelter, but they're in there mining cobalt for BMW and Tesla and Nokia and Samsung and all of these other companies, is because the people at the top want to make as much money as they possibly can under any condition. It's not so that their employees can get paid more. It's not so that they can give you a cheaper product. It's not because that's what it costs and there's no way for them to make it without doing it this way. It is 100% so that they can make an amount of money that they will not even be able to spend in this lifetime. That is the only reason why. Do not let anybody tell you anything otherwise, because it's not the truth. I'm literally wearing a cotton shirt right now. I'm sure white people in the past tried to make it seem like without slaves, it would be impossible to produce cotton. And here we are with slavery abolished and people are still walking around wearing cotton. They'll find a way. Trust me. They will find a way. You have to force them. The only reason why they are continuing this way is because we are turning a blind eye. That's it. They know they can get away with it, and getting away with it means their pockets are lined. And they don't care if people live or die. They don't care at all. Obviously, human lives are not the cost of convenience. They don't have to be. They will find a way to make the product while giving these people livable wages, while giving these people a place to live, while making sure it's not children that are working in these conditions. Yes, maybe it takes longer to drop a new phone. Maybe you can't drop one every single year. Yes, maybe you have to be a little bit more diligent about production costs and things like that, or whatever the case is. Don't even let them convince you that it's going to make it cost more, because it actually doesn't. They might take a pay cut. Let them take the pay cut. I'm sick of that concept that it's like we're trying to, so do we just want Apple to stop making phones? No, we want y'all to stop killing people. What does that have to do with phones?
So that's the kind of stuff African Stream would put out. And that's what they don't want you to hear. They don't want you to hear about how you actually get the cobalt and the lithium and how it's mined in the Congo. They don't want you to know this. So a statement from the team at African Stream. Okay, let's see what the statement says. African Stream has been viciously attacked and silenced by the greatest superpower in the world, the United States of America, on the basis of allegations emerging from Reddit rumors. On Friday, September 13th, the U.S. Secretary Antony Blinken said, I just showed you what he said. Less than 24 hours after the statement, our channel was taken off YouTube, and less than 72 hours later, our pages were removed from Meta, that is, from Instagram, Facebook, and Threads. Across all 4 platforms, we had over 1.5 million followers. If we include TikTok and Twitter, we have over 2.5 million followers. It is likely only a matter of time before we are removed from those. Can you see if they're on Twitter? It is only a matter of time before we are removed from those platforms, too. Is this the democracy that the United States is always championing? Is this the United States truly the beacon of democracy as it actively clamps down on free speech and freedom of the press, both enshrined in the United Nations 1948 Universal Declaration of Human Rights, to which the United States is a signatory? Here it is. Here's from the 1948 Universal Declaration of Human Rights states, everyone has the right to freedom of opinion and expression. The right includes freedom to hold opinions without interference and to seek, receive, and impart information and ideas through any media, regardless of frontier. So what they're doing when they censor, they're not only censoring the person's ability to speak, they're censoring your ability to hear that person. You have a right to receive information, to seek information without interference. Apparently, those rules do not apply to anti-imperialist Africans living on the most exploited and plundered continent on Earth. To be clear, neither China, Russia, nor Iran taught us Africans about imperialism. We learned through our own bloody history, as victims and survivors of slavery, colonialism, and imperialism. That history and our Pan-African heroes, many of whom the United States helped to assassinate or overthrow, is why we are anti-imperialist. The irony is that most of them were also accused of being Russian assets. Patrice Lumumba was called a Soviet-linked African Castro by the CIA at the time, Allen Dulles. Lumumba was soon after killed by the United States and Belgian-backed forces via firing squad on January 17, 1961, with most of his corpse then dissolved in acid and the rest burnt, leaving nothing but a single tooth that was buried on DR Congo's 62nd independence anniversary, 61 years later. All conscious Africans know this history and know how one of the greatest Pan-African leaders and thinkers, Kwame Nkrumah, was also accused of being a Soviet-linked communist shortly before he was overthrown in 1966 in a coup d'etat by the CIA-backed National Liberation Council, under whose supervision the country's economy was privatized. This is nothing new. It is just the Red Scare 2.0 with a new Russian boogeyman and the same old target, Pan-Africanists. Freedom-loving Africans have always been attacked by the United States apparatus. The greatest nightmare to the imperialist system is organized Africans forming international connections able to reach other Africans and oppress peoples around the world. This is why Paul Robeson's U.S. passport was revoked in 1950, and why W.E.B. Du Bois' passport was revoked in 1951. This is why Claudia Jones was deported from the United States in 1955, and why Marcus Garvey was deported as early as 1927. Let us not forget that Marcus Garvey and his Universal Negro Improvement Association organization ran the most successful and widespread Pan-African media publication of the early 20th century, Negro World. Need we remind you how Africans around the world had to smuggle in secret copies of Negro World so that Africans could read the journal? As is the case of Garvey, Lumumba, and Nkrumah, the smear always came before the action to remove them from power. This is what happens to Africans. This is what happened to African Stream. First, they smeared us on the biggest stage possible, and then their intelligence agencies contacted YouTube and Meta to remove our platforms that were reaching an average of 20 million people every week. Why? Because we have an analysis that is not approved by the United States Department, the U.S. State Department. Is the so-called greatest democracy in the world really that insecure that a bunch of 20 and 30-year-old Africans can expose their whole strategy in Africa? We must say we are extremely flattered. The United States, the U.S. State Department, the entire government, and intelligence apparatus know deep down that we are not acting out of Russian interests, but out of African interests. After failing to criminalize freedom-minded Africans under the unsuccessful Black Identity Extremist label established by the FBI in 2017, U.S. representatives have resorted to another tool in their arsenal, racist patronization. They want the world to believe we Africans cannot think for ourselves, make our own decisions, and promote our own interests. They want you to believe that we must always have a boss, an overlord, or a master dictating to us how we must act and think and what we must say and do. Today, they have chosen Russia as the alleged master that controls us. They cannot come out and say that they are targeting Africans because we are diametrically opposed to imperialist interests in Africa, so they depict us as servants of the Kremlin. They still cannot see Africans as anything other than slaves. Recently, 3 members of the Pan-African organization, African People's Socialist Party, were charged with being Russian Asians. They were acquitted, but await sentencing for conspiracy charges. On the plantation, rebellious Africans were always whipped and beaten to serve as an example to the others. Are they talking about the Uhurus that we just covered? I said, this is straight up government censorship. The people pushing World War III and nuclear war get to silence whoever they want, and there's nothing you can do about it. You don't live in a democracy. America is an authoritarian oligarchy disguised as a democracy. Enjoy your serfdom. The billionaires have won. So that's a sad story.
Yes, they're on Twitter.
So they're still allowed to be on Twitter. We'll see. Elon Musk just caved to Twitter to censorship demands from the CIA and the government in Brazil. So if they demand it here, I'm sure he'll cave to them here too. So there you go. The billionaires have won. The billionaires who controlled the U.S. government. You think that the politicians do? As Bibi Netanyahu says, don't be naive. Okay, that's it for today. Over to Steph.
You know, people are recommending to have Norm Finkelstein on to discuss this.
Discuss this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and discuss Robeson. All right. Thank you for that. All right. Here we go. A good education teaches someone abilities that let them act upon their ideas, not ideas on how to use their abilities. Whoa, Vienticus, you are bringing the truth today. Slaying Hope, it's all about the progressive movement passing the buck. It's their go-to solution for every problem they encounter or create. Slaying Hope. Slaying Hope, again, it's all about progressive government passing the buck. Oh, I read that one. All right. And so B-dubs, we will be adding, it sounds like Jimmy liked your recommendation about adding an interview segment.
Okay.
Sorry I missed your good energy interview. Got expelled from YouTube 2 weeks ago for BS. Signed up with a different email and got expended again. What? I don't have a YouTube feed anymore. Can only use without signing in. Oh, Sandra, that's crazy. Do you need a normal background?
Ready? Hey, come see us on tour. We'll be in Tempe, Arizona with a very special celebrity guest at that show. Columbus, Ohio, Dayton, Ohio, Burbank, California, Honolulu, and Cincinnati. Oh, we don't have the ticket link up? All right, let me do it. I'll redo it. Come see us on tour. We'll be in Tempe, Arizona with a special celebrity guest on that show. Columbus, Ohio, Dayton, Ohio, Burbank, California, and Honolulu. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets. I don't have a ticket link yet for Cincinnati. Okay. Hey, have you ever wondered what happened to the legendary Chuck Norris? I know I do. I recently saw a video he made, and I was shocked. He's in his 80s, and he's still kicking butt and working out and staying active. That's true. What's even more shocking is he's stronger, can work out longer, and even has plenty of energy left over for his grandkids. He did this by just making one change. He says he still feels like he's in his 50s. That's me. His wife even started doing this one thing too, and she's never felt better. What is that one thing, Jimmy? Well, let's read on. She says she feels 10 years younger. Her body looks leaner, and she has energy all day. Chuck made a special video, which I watched. He made a special video that explains everything. Make sure you watch it by going to chuckdefense.com/Jimmy or by clicking on the link below this video. It will change the way you think about your health. Once again, that's chuckdefense.com/Jimmy, and click on the link in the description below to watch the video now. I watched it. You won't believe how simple it is. Just a reminder, the legendary Chuck Norris is a whopping 84 years old, and yet he has more energy than me. That's true. He discovered he could create dramatic changes to his health simply focusing on 3 things that sabotage our body as we age. Watch his method by clicking the link in the description box below, chuckdefense.com/Jimmy.
Hey, Jimmy, what's going to happen this weekend on Friday for your subscribers?
So subscribers get to watch
Premiums.
So our premium subscribers, if you're at the $10 level, you can watch the live. So you know how we do the Rumble Time shows? Well, this one's going to be just for our premium members. And then the rest going forward will be available for free on Rumble and YouTube. But this one isn't. This one is going to be a special one this
Camera
Friday.
4 beside Jimmy.
Just for our premium members. It starts at 7 p.m., right? 7 p.m. Pacific time at jimmydore.com. And it's going to be one of those 2-3 hour shows. You know, we have the video and the panel and the whole deal. And so we'll see you there. Go, if you're not a member, go become a member. It's $10. At the $10 level, you get access to the video, at the live stream video. And then, you know, we cut it up into clips, and some clips we drop, some clips we don't. You don't get to see the whole thing. It's more fun. So go to jimmydore.com, become a member, and this Friday's show is just for premium members. Okay.
All right, great. Thank you, Jimmy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let me see if I have anything else to read. Let's all spread rumors that MSNBC has funding from RT. Let's get MSNBC off Facebook, IG, X, and YouTube. PW Walker, nice work on that one. Until we all heal our childhood trauma, we will continue circulating around the same cruelty and lies that have been passed down through generations for centuries. The cycle can stop with us. Hannah, sir. Deindustrialization and return to nature is the only real solution to anything. It's only our brainwashing that convinces us we can't or shouldn't do that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is a wrap for all of the super chats and Rumble rants that we got today and the Rockfin Rumbles. Hey, but by the way, next week, due to traveling, because Jimmy's going to be doing something else on Sunday. He'll be at jointheresistance.org, Rescue the Republic. Join the Resistance will run from 12 p.m. to 7 p.m. on Sunday, September 29th. Jimmy Dore, Dr. Brett Weinstein, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Russell Brand will be speaking at these events. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so we will see you this weekend. And Monday, won't have a show. We'll be back on Tuesday, Wednesday, and I believe Friday of next week. Once again, Tuesday will be at 1 p.m. and then Wednesday, regular time, 3 p.m. and Friday, 1 p.m. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. Now go do something nice for somebody. Bye.
Make it sing for me. Now make it sound angry. Check your B string.
Uh-oh.
Sextuplet sequence of G-Ionian starting on the tonic. Make it sound like my old lady's cat.
Which one?
The tabby. Okay, now make it tell a joke. Who's there? Say that again? Oh, Dwayne. That's a good one.
That's a dirty one.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down there for more AM Joy and the rest of MSNBC. And click on any of the videos right here to watch the latest interviews and highlights. And you can get more videos from MSNBC for free every day with our newsletter. Just visit
Isn't it swell? The memes make themselves. They found a rabbi hole, tunnels and all. There's Jews in the walls. Isn't it bliss? The rabbinical grace soiling the mattresses. Well, let me tell you. Shut it down. If I were Rabbi Shmuley and diddle 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 digga digga diddle diddle dum, all day long I'd diddle little bums. If I were a Shmuley man, I'd peddle all my dildos, dreidel dildos, selling dildos with my daughter and her mum. If I were a Jewish Shmuley man, I'd be digging with a dildo in my bum. I'd wear a grotesque nose and go grab some goyim right on the nipple with a pinch. A Shabbos lap dance brace for the youngest mensch.
At this time, more than any other time, you know, revolution is necessary. It is necessary. Not only based on what has happened with the MOVE organization, you know, the babies that have been murdered, you know, MOVE adults that have been murdered, bombs being dropped on us, but past that to what is happening with all black people, so-called minority people, you know, money poor people. You know, this government, as has been said earlier, has waged war on us. But you know, something about us, particularly here in America, we don't really understand that. You know, we don't really know what war is. You know, for black people, for poor people, that people see as good, that they wasn't forced to do, that they didn't do to try to keep black people appeased, you know, and calm down so that black people wouldn't riot. A prison situation is a crystallized example of that. You can make phone calls in prison. They have movies in prison. But they don't have those things because they just want to be nice to prisoners. They have those things because they know damn well if they don't have, you know, people being able to contact their family, if they don't have, you know, facilities for people to sit there and watch movies, people are going to be frustrated, upset, and they're going to direct that frustration at them prison administrators. And they're going to have riots on their hands. You know, they're going to have people in them prisons turning them prisons out. That's why they have movies. That's why they have access to phones the way they do. And a stop to it when we don't like it, or encouraging it when it's something that's in our interest. You know, we have to call the shots. The people have to take the reins of this system and start dictating, you know, what we need, what needs to be done. And, you know, taking the initiative to do it ourselves. We can't rely on this system. I mean, you know, don't people see what's happening? Every single confrontation that MOVE people have been involved in, every single issue, you know, oppression, economic issues, every single issue facing our people, you know, is something that can be dealt with very, very simply. All people got to do is make their wishes known. All people have to do is stand up and say, listen, we're not accepting that. Unity is the key. Unity is the key to revolution. Revolution ain't nothing to be afraid of. It ain't nothing to shy away from. Revolution, contrary to what officials, you know, this system and those backing the officials running the system, you know, want people to believe that revolution means violence, you know, means blood in the street. I'm saying it can get to that point, but it don't have to be violent. You know, when people come together and take a strong stand on an issue, this government don't have no choice but to listen. Where you think they get their authority from? They don't have no power, but they do have authority to do certain things. Where you think they get it from? They get it from us, from the people. You know, they get it from us accepting the things that they do to be done to stop it. Then you have some people who want to then turn around and say, yeah, well, you know, it's the best we have, and want to make excuses. The time for excuses is over. It's over. You know, every man, woman, and child has to be involved in this revolution. Not only has to be, but is, whether you want to be or not. I mean, our babies gave their lives for this revolution on May 13th. You know, men, women, and children were murdered. And not just moved babies, you know. What about all of the young men, women, you know, children 8, 9 years old shot down on the street by cops, you know, by drug pushers? I mean, you know, where do you think that mentality comes from? It comes from this system, from the mentality of this system of getting over, you know, making a quick buck, you know. I'm saying that's where that needs to be done to stop it. Then, you know, what I want people to really, really understand is that it's past time. It is past time for poor people, black people, you know, to realize that this system has failed you. It has failed you. You can't get nothing from it. And what people got to do is withdraw our support from it and start doing for ourselves. That's what we got to do. You know, how long are people going to sit back and beg, you know, this government to do what's right when for hundreds of years all you've gotten is a slap in the face? All you've gotten is this government kicking your ass. That's all. That's all black people have ever gotten from this government.